and we're taking full advantage of it to advance the technology as quickly as possible.
The dry electrode problem is really quite a hard problem. I mean, we acquired Maxwell really just for the dry electrode technology, but just illustrates what a gigantic gap there is between something working at small scale and at large scale. And we've had an extremely talented team of engineers working on scaling the dry electrode process and having it be reliable and consistent. And we've been grinding hard, literally and figuratively, on this for quite a while. It seems likely that we will be able to scale it to volume this year.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically increasing the output week over week, like roughly 1K a week per quarter is our internal target, and we're tracking to that. I think what you saw is effectively like a ton of material per hour per tool. It's kind of like hard to like rationalize like what that really means, but it's different than like, oh, something works in a lab. It's like, well, when it's tons of material per hour, there's just different kinds of problems. Like even if you have like 0.1% escape of like fines into the enclosure that your equipment is in, now you have a dust problem, and like that could short out some electronics. It's like just things like this, where when you're on a lab scale, you don't even notice it, but when you're doing thousands of tons over the course of months, it's like, oh, a new failure mode we found, and that's where we're at. But we're knocking those out though, and the team is grinding through it, but progress every week.
And the last question from Chris.
Thanks for taking the question. I have a few follow-ups on the next-gen vehicle. First, when do you think we'll get a look at it, maybe a prototype? Second, are there any details that you think you can share in terms of the size, the content, the performance? And then third, I think you mentioned that you would produce it in other plants in addition to Mexico. Should we take that to mean that you can launch it at an existing plant before you're finished constructing the new plant in Mexico?
I think we'll actually have to probably decline that answer. We will have a proper sort of product event, but that would be jumping the gun if we were to answer your questions. Maybe another question, if there's, yeah. I don't know, anyone?
Will Danoff?
I have two questions. This has really been a very impressive afternoon. Thank you so much. Elon, I'm curious, as you've doubled and you'll double again, what you've learned about sort of managing a larger enterprise and what you might have to do to manage a bigger enterprise. And then secondly, I'm curious on your thoughts on how generative AI and these rapid breakthroughs in AI in the last months could help you make cars sort of less hard to make. Thank you.
I don't see AI helping us make cars anytime soon. At that point, I mean, at no point any of us working, I think.
Big problems.
She'll just chill out. I mean, I'm a little worried about the AI stuff. I think it's something, I don't know, which we should be concerned about. I don't know, I think we should need some kind of like regulatory authority or something that's overseeing AI development and just making sure that it's operating within the public interest. And it's quite a dangerous technology. And I fear I may have done some things to accelerate it, which is, I don't know. So, I mean, some of the AI stuff I think is just obviously useful, like what we're doing with self-driving, which is, some people think is an AGI type problem. I don't think it's quite an AGI problem, but it certainly requires very sophisticated neural nets because the road system is designed for eyes and biological neural nets. So naturally, the analog to